Hello, International Lobos, and welcome to the University of New Mexico. My name is Arthur. I am the Social Activities Coordinator at the Global Education Office, and I will be your tour guide for this section of the International Student Check-In. In this video, we will be covering all things academic, which include but are not limited to how to set up your NetID, how to navigate MyUNM, how to register for classes, how to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor via Lobo Achieve, how to pay tuition, how to access online classes, and how to purchase your books. In order to begin accessing all of the resources available to you as a student of UNM, you first need to create what we call a UNM NetID and password. I will begin sharing my screen to model how to do so now. In any web browser of your choosing, please type in netid.unm.edu. Alternatively, in a search browser, you can type in UNM NetID and navigate to this page. Once you see the Welcome to NetID page, please click on the Seconds tab that says New NetID Registration. Go ahead and read all of this pertinent information, and then click on the UNM NetID registration link located at the top. This will open up a second web page where you will actually register for your NetID. Please note that the NetID process will ask for your banner ID. Your banner ID is your unique 9-digit UNM ID number that is assigned to every single student at the University of New Mexico. In order to access this information, please refer to your admissions letter that was sent to you when you were admitted to the University of New Mexico. Once you fill out this pertinent information, please click on I agree and submit on the bottom right. Please note that your UNM NetID serves two functions. It serves as your login credentials for any web page and software that UNM uses, and it also serves as your username for your school email. On that note, please note that your UNM NetID is unique to you and it cannot be changed once it has been created. As such, think carefully about what you would like your school email to be. On a final note, please note that the NetID may take up to 24 hours to register within the UNM system. As such, even though you create your NetID one day, it might take another day for it to register with the system. Therefore, you might not be able to log into some of the resources that I will be showing you later in this video. After creating your UNM NetID and after waiting up to 24 hours for your UNM NetID to register with the UNM system, you are now ready to begin exploring all of the academic resources available to you. On my screen, I will be sharing what we call MyUNM. So on any web browser, please type in my.unm.edu. which will take you here to the MyUNM welcome page. Basically, MyUNM is the central hub that UNM uses to link all of its software and resources together, making your stay here at UNM that much more easier and that much more accessible. For example, within MyUNM, you will be able to access software such as the registration portal, which is how you will register for classes, Lobo Achieve, which is how you will create an appointment with your academic advisor, the Bursar Account Suite, which is how you will pay off tuition, UNM Blackboard Learn, which is how you will access your online classes, Lobo Mail, which is how you will access your student email, and so many more, which we will show off in just a second. In order to enter MyUNM, please navigate to the login link on the top right corner located here. The MyUNM login page will ask for your UNM NetID and your password. In the previous section, we showed you how to create your NetID and password. So if you have not done so already, please go back to that previous section. You will not be able to access MyUNM until you do so. So once you log into MyUNM, you will see this page here. This is called your MyUNM Dashboard. So your dashboard might look a bit different depending on which tab you are currently on. For example, I am currently on the Student Life tab by default. However, for some of our newer students, you default to the Affiliate tab. In order to access the Student Life tab, you have to add it. In order to do so, go to the very end of the tabs and you will see a plus sign. Please click on that plus sign. And here you will be able to customize your dashboard. Primarily, we're interested in adding the Student Life tab, which has this green graduate cap. I do want to note here as well, under the Employment tab, if for any reason in the future you plan on becoming an employee of UNM, you may want to consider adding the Student Employee tab if you're an undergraduate student, and the Faculty Life tab if you are a graduate student. I am not a graduate student, so I cannot see the Faculty Life tab. However, it will be located here under the Student Employee tab. So going back to the Student Life tab, I just want to note that this will be your primary tab throughout your academic career here at UNM, because this is the main page where you will be able to register for your classes, you will be able to check your grades, and you will be able to pay your tuition. My best recommendation for the newer students, I've been at UNM here for 5 years now, and I recommend clicking on every single link and resource that you see available on this page. In general, it's a good idea to explore your surroundings, and it doesn't hurt to know where to locate resources for future semesters. For example, if you need things like tutoring or IT help, you will go to this academic resources section here. Or if you have questions about your grades, your bills, academic support, mental health, so on and so forth. I do want to know that on this page can look a bit different depending on what kind of computer you're using and how big your web monitor is. For example, I've accessed MyUNM on my mobile phone, and for whatever reason, some of these tabs like to jump around. For example, this financial aid tab, it's usually here on the top, but when I access it on my mobile phone, it moves all the way to the bottom down here. So the main lesson with that is if you can't find the resource the first time, please do not worry. You will eventually find it if you do some looking. So the first tab that I want to showcase to you is the Student Guide tab here. So go ahead and click on that. Basically, the Student Guide tab acts as a frequently asked questions section in that it lists a ton of pertinent information and is very timely for newer students. For example, if you have questions about where to find your classes, if you scroll down, you'll see that there is a campus maps available here, and it also lists the buildings that are currently opened or closed due to COVID-19, and there's also virtual tours available. If you have questions about registration or holds, housing, the type of food available on campus, advisors, classes and majors, mental health, so on and so forth. I want to bring up this section primarily for undergraduate freshmen. So all of our new international students are required to attend the International Orientation / Check-in. However, if you are a new undergraduate freshman, you are required to attend 2 orientations, the International Student Check-in / Orientation and the UNM New Student Orientation, which is called NSO. Basically, at NSO, they will be giving you tours of the campus and they will be giving you tutorials on how to use certain resources available through MyUNM and on campus as well. So please keep that in mind, especially because you might have a hold on your account for NSO that might prevent you from registering for classes. So exiting the student guide, we're going to go back to the Student Life tab. What we're going to do is we're going to enter LoboWeb here, this big red button. Again, this button might move around depending on what device you're using. Sometimes it moves all the way down here. We're just going to enter it now. And you're going to see that there's going to be 4 options. So the first option that I want to showcase to you is the personal information option. So in the personal information tab, you will be able to update your address information and your directory information. So unfortunately, the UNM system and the Global Education Office's system are not linked together. As international students, you are required to update your address information with GEO within 10 days of moving. However, if you update your address with GEO, it does not update your address with UNM. That can be a bit of an issue especially if you are working with UNM, because UNM will be sending your tax information and your tax documents to your address on file. So if your address is not updated or up to date, they will accidentally send your tax information to the wrong address, and you might have to go through this process of updating your address, hunting down your tax documents, or just plain out requesting new documents, which might take time, and it's an unnecessary process. So in general, you want to keep your address updated with both systems. Moreover, UNM, the MyUNM system in particular, it uses an authentication service, and that will require that your phone number be up to date, especially with the Bursar account suite, which we will be seeing in a later section. It will ask you to authenticate with your mobile phone number. So obviously, if your mobile phone number is not updated, you won't be able to authenticate and you won't be able to access your Bursar account suite, which means you won't be able to pay your tuition, which will be an issue. So in general, please, please, please keep your address and phone information updated, which in order to do so, you will click on this addresses and directory information here and update the pertinent information. So let's go ahead and exit this section here. We're going to enter the LoboWeb once more, and we're going to go to the registration and records section in the next section of this video.